Mike Lindsley with you here at Rosie's Corner. Stop by if you're in and around Central New York for the pizza and wing combinations all day long, plus the meatball bomber, other hot sandwiches. They have cold sandwiches here as well. The classic burger, stuffed shells, you name it, you can get it here at Rosie's. They'll cater your event as well. Fish Friday coming up in a couple of days as well. All the drinks, all the side snacks. They've got their mac salad today. The awesome tomato cucumber salad is in there as well. Chips to go with your subs as well. And you can follow them on Facebook and Instagram for more information as well. Hey, be sure to ask about all their awesome wing flavors. When I'm telling you about chicken wings, I'm telling you about Rosie's chicken wings, man. You can get the hot, extra hot, the honey garlic, the gold fever are through the roof. The garlic parm, tremendous as well. Sweet and sour, the teriyaki. It's all here at Rosie's Corner, a proud ML Sports Platter sponsor. And they've got all your healthier side things as well if you're looking for the chef, the Julian, or the Caesar salads. It's all right here at Rosie's Corner, a proud ML Sports Platter sponsor. Route 11 in front of the Brewerton Bridge. Be sure to stop by all day today. So a common theme when the Stanley Cup playoffs arrive is, how do you win a Stanley Cup? You know, what are the necessary ingredients? And I honestly, over the decades, I don't think it's changed one bit. I know we're not in the goaltender era of a Hasek, Brodeur, Waugh, Cujo, Eddie Belfour, Ron Hextall, on and on, or even later on with a Henrik Lundqvist and a Jonathan Quick. Normally you'd say, okay, you need the goaltender and that's it. But that's not, I mean, it doesn't start and end with the hot goalie. It used to be, if you've got the goalie, great, you're already in a way upper tier. And then from there, you know, you take a look at some of the Colorado teams, for example, right? Sakic, Forsberg. I mean, they had Hall of Fame players outside of Patrick Waugh. But if they didn't have Patrick Waugh, certainly you'd take them out of the running. Right now, you could argue the Vegas Golden Knights, as the defending champs, are as likely a favorite to win the Stanley Cup as anybody. And their goaltending is probably a little bit above average at best. I mean, Adin Hill, Logan Thompson, they aren't the elite guys. Connor Hellebuck, though, for the Winnipeg Jets is an elite goaltender, and a lot of people have them as maybe the 7th or 8th best team in the entire tournament, right? So you don't necessarily look at the goaltender first and then go, okay, then they have Niedermeyer and Stevens after a Brodeur. Okay, Dominik Hasek, although the Buffalo Sabres never really had those Hall of Fame players and snipers after that, right? And certainly Lindy Ruff, who's now back with the Sabres, remembers those days all too well. My point is, it doesn't start and end with the elite goalie, and then you funnel from there. If anything, I would actually end with the goaltender, and I would start with the D word, depth. That is absolutely the case. Look at the New York Rangers, the President's Trophy winners this season, for example. The New York Rangers in the first 2 games against the Washington Capitals. Now, I know last night was only a 1-goal win, but they have had 8 goal scorers on 8 goals. Period. End of discussion. Depth across the board, and it goes from Trocheck and Panarin and Zibanejad and Kreider and Rempe to the 3rd and 4th lines in the defense. And you've got Keandre Miller can score, and Adam Fox can score. In fact, Adam Fox had a down year this year. It didn't matter for the Rangers. They have a back line of just wall defenders. They pinch in on plays. They can kill penalties as well. You've got the goalie in Shesterkin. You go depth, then you go special teams were amazing for them, and obviously their stars better than your stars, and then the goaltending, right? It's all those 4 things. It's depth, special teams, your stars have to be better than theirs, and the goalie. Now, whatever order you want to pick, have at it. But what I'm getting at is, if you have those 4 things, you have a great opportunity to win the Stanley Cup. And the 5th thing I would have to tell you that's kind of inserted in the depth and inserted into the superstars and inserted into the goaltending and inserted into the special teams, you got to be built great up the middle. You got to have those centermen and all the rest. When you look at Vegas, you look at Dallas, you look at the New York Rangers, you look at these top tier, the Florida Panthers, these top tier clubs. Carolina's been this way for several years under Rod Brindamore. You got to be built up the middle. You got to have big time defensemen. See Colorado in this regard as well with the Cal McCarrs and company. You got Roman Josi in Nashville. You got the guys I mentioned with the Rangers. You've got defensemen galore with Theodore and company, Petrangelo and all these great players for the Vegas Golden Knights. Then you got to have the centerman after centerman after centerman after centerman, and then from there you've got the wings to branch into it. To me, this is the recipe to win a Stanley Cup. Depth, stars better than your stars, goaltending, and obviously special teams. And you look around the league, every time we get to this point, look at the Kings and the Blackhawks and the Penguins of recent years as well. Whether it was a dynasty, a mini dynasty, look at the Tampa Bay Lightning. Look at the sustainability of a lot of these rosters. Even when guys float away because of the salary cap, look at Tampa Bay. They've lost since they went to 3 straight Stanley Cups and won 2. They've lost Andre Palat to the Devils, Goudreau to the Calgary Flames. They've lost Yanni Gourde to the Seattle Kraken. They've lost a lot of guys, off that roster, yet here they are. Now, they're not going to win the Stanley Cup. I know they're down 0-2 to the Florida Panthers, but they continue to show up in the playoffs. That's one of the things I've alluded to with the Sabres hiring Lindy Ruff, where it's a short-term fix, like sell tickets, billboards, keep fans interested in the offseason, ticket sales, maybe some arena jump in terms of some remodeling and all the rest. And oh, by the way, break the drought quickly. Well, what's going to happen in 2 years? The Sabres need sustainability. A lot of these franchises, Vegas is in the middle of it now. You've seen a lot of these repeated teams in the playoffs show up. Florida, Tampa, Carolina, Vegas, Dallas, the Rangers. Like, you want to be in there all the time, because when you play the numbers game, the amount of times, the more and more times you're in there, the better your chances, of making the playoffs, of making a deep playoff run. The better your chances are to win Lord Stanley's Cup. And when you look at it this way, Tampa Bay is still back. They're still a team you don't want to play. Now, I don't think they're going to get through the Florida Panthers, but the point is they made it back into the playoffs. They still have a core group of guys. Now, they're going to lose another one probably in the offseason with Steven Stamkos, but it's Stamkos right now. It's Kucherov, who's having an MVP season. It's Braden Point, it's Cirelli, you've got Hedman, you have Vasilevsky. The Sergachev injury killed him, but you have a lot of these guys. Now you have a few others kind of showing up, the Declares and company, that are there as depth pieces. Now they're nowhere near those other players, and when you lose big-time guys off a second and third line, now the fourth and third becomes second and third line centers and wings, then your third and fourth get a little weaker. You got to tap into the minor leagues. It's like in baseball, when you lose an ace, your number 2 has to become a number 1. Now, apparently in Atlanta, that's not a problem because you got Max Free. But think about Atlanta, how dominant they are without Spencer Strider. He's out for the year. Imagine if they had him as a 1, Fried as a 2, and then all the other guys, 3, 4, 5, and beyond. Now you got to move everybody up 1. I still think Atlanta's going to win the World Series, by the way. But you get my point. You lose a piece, you move up a piece. You lose another, you move up another. It's just not, your depth takes a wicked hit. And that's why Tampa, now granted, they've gone to 3 straight cups. They've been sustainable. They've gone to all these playoffs. Even those losses now where they've gone out in the first round, or they've bowed out in the conference finals or bowed out in the cup finals, before they went to 3 in a row, those playoff runs look better because you have the championships up on top now, right? Those look better. When you don't have the titles on top, you're the team that can't get over the hump. Well, now they've got titles here, and then all those other runs, so deep runs, conference finals appearances, 100-win seasons, President's trophies, all that stuff underneath looks a lot better because you've got the cups on top. The sustainability is a big deal, but look at what's happened to them now. You lose those pieces, depth goes away. That's just where they are. They're not the Rangers. They're not the Panthers. They're not the Hurricanes. It's just that simple. You look out west, kind of the same type of thing with some of these teams. So the same thing happens every year. It's just happened a different way. Things have shifted in terms of importance and rank, but still, you got to have depth. You got to have your stars better than the others, goaltending and special teams. If you have those 4 things, and within that you're built up the middle, Lord Stanley can be yours. ML Sports Take from Rosie's Corner. Ask about the Meatball Bomber, the Gold Fever Wings, and more. Get on over here to Rosie's Corner, Route 11 in Brewerton. If you're in and around Central New York, they will cater your event, take care of your business lunches. They've got salads. They've got awesome classic burgers. They've got the pizza wing combos. They've got the hot and cold subs, the stuffed shells. Fish Friday coming up in a couple days as well with your French fries, mac and cheese, coleslaw options. You can get the dinner or the lunch version as well. Rosie's Corner knocking out of the park here every single day in Brewerton, Route 11 in front of the Brewerton Bridge. And of course, go get them on Facebook and Instagram, and gift cards are available as well. As I always tell you, enjoy the games.